Hello and welcome to the final video for today, finally with the last new Pokemon, which is going to be the Oinkologne. You of course already took a look at all the different starters today as well. I'm now out of sets as well, which is I think a good thing for me, because otherwise I would place even some more spicy stuff for today, but we are done for today. So today we're going to take a look at the Oinkologne, which is going to be a very interesting normal type Pokemon, and we're going to take a little bit of a better look at this now as well, as this Pokemon is having Takedown or Tackle as a fast move, so Tackle it is. Tackle is a Water Gun clone for the people that don't know it. Got recently buffed, so it is a Water Gun clone, which is really decent actually for a normal type Pokemon, so Stab, Water Gun basically for this Pokemon. And also, what you don't see in PvPoke right now, this Pokemon actually learns Trailblaze, which is of course one of the new new moves here right now, which is going to be a clone of the move, forgot about that, Flame Charge, so it's going to be 50 energy, I think 65 damage, and the guaranteed chance of buffing your own attack, which is actually kinda interesting. And this Pokemon itself kinda fits a role that beforehand Munchlax kinda fit, and is definitely around the same bulk level of Munchlax, I think a little bit lower than it, but Munchlax before was able to learn Tackle, Body Slam, and Bulldoze, giving you some access to some coverage move for those Steel-type Pokemon, but also Oinkologne would be able to learn Dig, which makes this Pokemon actually a fairly interesting Pokemon, especially also for the Open Ultra League, which is definitely something where you can run it if you get the XL Candy for it. You need to kinda fully XL, you need to run like 200 XL Candies for this Pokemon, which I'm definitely going to start grinding after this video, and I'm gonna go outside again for that one. But definitely an interesting Pokemon just because of the coverage you have, as well as you're going to be able to just have those Stab, Tackle, plus the buffing option is really cool. Well, for example, here you have Power Whip, which is going to do in general a little bit more damage onto the Lickitung. You're going to have the same coverage basically, but with the attack buff on the Oinkologne, which is really cool. But Lickitung is still going to be the better Pokemon, as it's going to have more bulk, as well as it's going to have Lick as a fast move, which in the current meta at least is a very good thing, because you're going to not be walled by Steel types completely, as well as you're going to be able to do super effective damage against Medicham, which is definitely way more important, so definitely something to keep in mind of. Here we're going to be actually able to play this game super perfect. Like honestly, I played this game so perfect the entire way through, which is so cool to see. Was able to do the CMP tie there, was able to catch some moves, and look at this next one here. We're going to be able to hit another dig against the opponent's Umbreon, and I can catch another move. And then I screwed up at the end game, which is just so sad. We're going to have now in the back Carbink, something that I don't really want to face here, but I can go ahead and go for the Trailblaze, which is going to allow me to buff my attack. And this is going to now most likely put them nearly in range for another Trailblaze afterwards, but even if I'm going to be able to hit the Trailblaze and doesn't knock them out, it would be in Aerial Ace range, which would have been so nice for me. And what do? I decide to go for the bait, which was completely unnecessary, did not do anything for me, and just basically made the match up way worse for me, and basically made it impossible to win. So congrats to myself, playing everything before super well, catching 2 charge moves, going for the CMP tie, getting the full farm down, everything perfectly played, and then on the last ditch I'm basically losing a match there. I was not supposed to win anyway, I think, based on the backline completely hardwalled me, but still, we could have won this game for sure if I just played it a little bit better. The sad thing about this video as well is I put the second set in before, because the first set you're still going to be at the end of the video. I had insane lag, like literally I lost at least 2 or 3 games just based on lag, and that's all like the main reason for it. So I most likely would have had a way better record with this team as well if I just were able to play the game for the first set that I played. I don't know why, like the 4 sets that I played before, totally fine, you saw them all on my channel, there was not a single bit of lag. Then one set here was completely horrible and not playable, I didn't even get into a game once, it was just like heading to forfeit immediately basically, and then the last set here was totally normal again. I don't know what really happened to Niantic server at that point, but still, here we're going to actually have a very decent matchup. We're going to have the Cresselia against us, against the Lickitung. We were able to swap at the same time as the opponent and swap into the right Pokemon, which is kind of wild. As they're going to use a shield, so I'm going to not use a shield here because I want to get extra energy. And here I think my opponent also had some issues, because you see here right now, they're very sluggish with their fast move, and they might have been able to get to another charge move otherwise. So that's a little bit annoying for them. but I will be able to at least use a shield here against the opponent's Gligar, go for my own aerial ace, which would knock them out, but they're usually going to shield this move up most likely, and they do. And what do we see in the back? The Swampert, which means we're going to be able to go for the coverage move of a Trailblaze, allowing us to buff our attack and getting the one shot here right now. Take a look at this. Oinkologne gonna go to town and boom, gonna get the attack buff here right now with a 4 times super effective move against the Swampert, allowing us to now farm them all the way down or even go for a 0 bubble body slam just for the flex here for the piggy. Also, if you want to build your own one, be careful. Please go ahead and build the female variant. If you don't build the female variant, it's definitely going to be worse. They have different stats depending on the gender of this Pokemon, so definitely go ahead and build the female one. You can actually just search for female in the search string there for Pokemon Go, so make sure to do this before you evolve your Pokemon, because the it's not a huge difference, but there is a difference in the genders, and the female variant is way bulkier, like 100 points bulkier or something compared to the male variant. They, I think, have the same moves or anything like this, but definitely make sure to evolve the female version of this Pokemon. If you don't do this, it's going to be a little bit tough for you. Here we're going to now have the Carbink matchup, which they actually was kind of weird because they actually didn't go ahead and, like, they shield up the one move before, and now they're going to still go down from it. And we're going to have now a Bastion in the back, and this is going to be a little bit of an awkward one, as we're now going to be able to go for the Power Whip, but it's still going to be a little bit of a closer one, as we're going to go ahead and go for the Body Slam against them, but we're only going to get them so low here that it's still not really in the range. Maybe, I don't even know if the Dig would knock them out here at this point of time, but of course they have the Whimsicott in the lead, which is going to be fine for us. We're going to be able to get a ton of energy here right now, and they're going to swap. I'm gonna go for the aerial ace just to get them low. Might have been a mistake. Maybe I should have swapped out immediately here, but I decided to stay in for a little bit, go for the full farm down here, and of course they're gonna get to the move with a 1 HP left, which is not ideal at all, as we now have our Oinkologne against the opponent's Bastion here, and this is not really ideal for us, but they thought I would run Dig on this Pokemon, which you can definitely do. If you just look at PvPoke, it definitely says Dig right now because Trailblaze is not in the moveset for PvPoke. So that's most likely why they were confused about my moveset here right now, and this is going to work out so well because I had the Dig stored right now, and the opponent's Bastion gonna go down there. Let's take a look at the next opponent. We're going to have the Diggersby in the lead. Amazing lead for us, especially as they're running Mudshot as a fast move, and they're going to decide to swap out now into the Azumarill. I was a little bit like hesitating here right now on what I wanted to do, and I decided to go for an aerial ace and now swap into my Lickitung. Why into my Lickitung? Because the lick damage would be double resisted on the Diggersby, while here it's going to be neutral, and I still have basically the same coverage on both of my Pokemon in the backline. So basically, based on what fast move is going to be better against the Pokemon that I just faced, I'm going to go into the opposite Pokemon in order to knock out the Azumarill here. In this case, for sure, we're going to go ahead and go into the Lickitung, which is going to be way better for us, as we're now going to encounter the Venusaur coming in. This is going to be very decent for us. We can go for a Body Slam. I'm not sure if I can reach another one, so I decide to swap out immediately into my Gligar, go for the aerial ace, force the shield from the opponent. They have their move stored as well, but I get the extra free fast move in here, and this is looking fairly decent for us, as the opponent going to swap out into the Diggersby. This was not a Hyper Beam yet, for sure not. I would have most likely shielded if they went up to the Hyper Beam, but they just went up to the Fire Punch, and this is not enough to get me to shield. So here, like this, we're gonna be able to get another aerial ace off against the opponent, and the Fire Punch is coming through right now, which is gonna do some decent damage. By the way, you might already remember this team here as well if you watched my video about Ursaring, where I used Ursaring instead of Oinkologne on this team. Very solid core of Lickitung plus Gligar. Like in general, for like lead and Say-Swap, this is one of the best cores that you can run right now. I see a lot of other people also running similar cores, so like it's not, I would not say it's my idea or anything like this. It's just a very logical core to run, because actually the lead is very decent against steel types. We're going to have the Lickitung, which actually can still deal with a lot of steel types, which is kind of cool. And then we're going to have a slot in the back, which you can kind of put something in like that's going to be weak against Medicham, because you're going to be baiting out Medicham anyway with your Lickitung, as well as it's going to be just decent in general here. Right now, of course, we're going to play something funny. Here, by the way, this is 4 times speed. This is what I mean with the set that I played in the beforehand. I am not able to do anything. I'm just going to forfeit here. This is one of my games that I had to play. Sadly, I don't have unlimited sets, so I decided to always go for 2 sets each Pokemon that I want to showcase, so I have more footage for it, but yeah, this is all not ideal. And this is not the only thing that's going to happen here today, so we're gonna see some more lag later on. But here we're going to see actually something that I found kinda sad. We're going to see the matchup of Oinkologne against the opponent's Lickitung here. And I decided to go ahead and go for the Trailblaze in order to get my attack buff and hopefully can farm down afterwards. But actually the matchup itself is not even that great for Oinkologne here, as we're going to see right now that we will take this body slam, but like we're gonna be already low enough that we are forced to go for another one. Yes, we're going to be able to win this matchup, but our fast move is A-stab and neutral, and the opponent's fast move is completely resisted, which I kind of find then weird that the matchup is so close against a Lickitung, which is just, yeah, showing how strong Lickitung actually is. I really actually wouldn't mind to see a Power Whip nerf if we're gonna get like a buff for other grass type moves, because Lickitung is honestly in the current meta at least way too overpowered. Like you will see Lickitung basically on every team in tournaments, I can tell you that already, because it's just so neutral against everything. You have chances to win against basically against Medicham in the 0 and the 2-sheet scenario, against Registeel in the 2-sheet scenario if you have a certain Lickitung, which I do have, and like if the opponent doesn't have the rank 1 Registeel, which is very difficult to get. So Lickitung right now is just so free to use that it is a wild that, this Pokemon is still that strong. Especially with just Lick as a fast move, but I think the only thing that you can re-nerf it with is, I guess, the Power Whip, because Body Slam would impact too many Pokemon. Power Whip just impacts the Root and like Tangrowth or something like this, so it would be kind of better off if we're going to nerf that one, if you want to balance Lickitung a little bit. It's not the biggest threat either, like it's definitely the strongest Pokemon most likely right now as a safe swap, but it is definitely still something that's handleable. Something that I just really don't like is this Pokemon. I just cannot stand Steelix. Like honestly, I made a tweet about this as well on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter, aka X now, of course. I still don't understand this change, to be fair, but yeah, Elon Musk is doing Elon Musk things. But yeah, I kind of made a tweet and like kind of rant about it, that I found like the Steelix change didn't make any sense at all. Like, why do you give the best charge move in the game, by far Breaking Swipe is by far the best charge move in the game, there's nothing that you can say about this, to one of the bulkiest Pokemon to just make it even bulkier and even more annoying, especially with a fast move that is doing so much damage. I just didn't get this change, to be fair. Like, honestly, I feel like this was one of the stupidest changes that happened this season. Yes, this makes this Pokemon very strong, but it makes it way too strong in my opinion, especially in open play. I feel like it's basically like a Bastion for the tournament meta. Like, you can prepare for it, you're going to be seeing so many Medicham anyway, because it's the best way to prepare for it, but you're not going to be able to really handle it in open, like in blind metas basically, because if you have even a neutral matchup against it, you're going to lose. Like, if it's just neutral, you're going to lose. You have to have basically super effective moves against them and maybe resist the fast move and charge move from the opponent. Then you have a chance against the Steelix there right now. But if it's a neutral Pokemon, no chance, like literally no chance of winning the matchup there. So it is honestly a little bit too broken in my opinion, but that's what Niantic did. It's only really broken for the blind meta though, because for the limited metas you're going to be able to use your Registeels or like for the tournament meta you're going to have your Registeels and your answers like Swampert or whatever more commonly and easier to target this Pokemon with, but yeah, right now, I feel like it kind of hinders team building a lot, as we're going to, of course, encounter another one, as Shadow Steelix seems to be like one of the most common Pokemon. Here I go for the Aerial Ace. I usually do go for the Dig here because I'm kind of too scared of it, but here we're actually going to see something interesting. My opponent going to go ahead and go into the Toxic Rogue, but this was a move after 6 turns there, or like 6 fast moves, which basically allows me to know that it's going to be the Mud Bomb and I can survive that one, and I win this in the 0 shield scenario, allowing me here right now to actually go ahead and let this Lickitung go down. I can go for my Gligar, knock them out here, use a shield because I want to get a dig off against the opponent's Steelix, and now we can see what they have in the bag. And it's going to be, let's see, it's going to be a Pelipper, and I try to catch a charge move here right now, which of course did work out insanely well here. Did not. Going to be the Hurricane right now, so I'm going to have to shield this move up, and now this is a little bit awkward. And I don't know if it was the game or it was me, I cannot blame anyone right now, but you're going to see it here right now. We're going to go for the Trailblaze, all fine, all good. We're going to be able to get the attack buff again, and we're going to be at neutral attack right now. And I feel like maybe, just maybe, I will be able to actually get the knockout here with the extra tackle damage, as well as the Trailblaze. So I'm going to go ahead and try to reach this move up here, and I just barely miss out on clicking on it or something. I'm not sure about it, but I don't think it really would have mattered. I don't think it would have knocked them out from this range because Steelix is insanely strong. And, but yeah, if it would have knocked them out from this range, I would have been able to win the game. I cannot tell it, like, maybe let me know in the comment section what your opinion is there. Would I have been able to win this game if I would have been able to get the move off? I'm not sure. Here, you see it already. I start insanely late to the match here right now. My Gligar already lost like 10% of its health, which is against lick damage from the Lickitung. Is quite a lot of licks they got through there, especially as they're going to be even able to easily outspeed me there to a charge move. And like this, I'm kind of far behind for the entire match right now. So basically, I'm far behind, like, I don't know, 10-20 turns against the opponent right now. I will be able to at least get my Oinkologne against the opponent's Lickitung, and I will be able to outspeed them here for the next one. But they're going to be able to swap out already into the Medicham, which was never been the case usually, because, yeah, usually the opponent wouldn't have been, like, I wouldn't have been stuck in the first matchup, and I would have been able to just swap immediately into my answer for the Lickitung. So that's great. Now we will be able to at least get a shield, but I don't know how much energy they have, because I don't know if they stayed in for a little bit and went for a few counters. Who knows? I cannot say it. But here we'll be able to at least catch the move from the opponent, which is kind of nice, but we are still so far behind here. I'm still going to try to come back from this horrible lead there, of course, by having 10 seconds of lag or something, which was absolutely wild. And we're gonna go for the great power whip there against the opponent's Lickitung, which is sadly going to land on the Gligar. But we still maybe have a chance here, but we're still so in a bad spot right now. It would have been such an easy win for me because I would have completely walled the opponent at this point of time already if I just didn't have the lag in the beginning. So now we're going to be able to use a shield here against the Dig, which is kind of nice. I thought of catching a move here for Dig, but like, of course they're gonna not go for the Dig, they're gonna go for the Aerial Ace, so I'm going to be able to swap out here. Still have some health left on my Lickitung. I have to go for the Dig here onto my own Gligar. This is all gonna come down to the wire, and now I make a huge mistake. I did not expect that I would be able to still have enough health to get to the Power Whip, but I definitely would have, as you're going to see afterwards. And if I went for the Power Whip, I think I would have won this game, so this was my own mistake by far. Like, it's so annoying, but yeah, it's still going to be okay. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like. Also, check out all the 3 starters that you see on the screen right now, which I already covered on my channel today. This is going to be my final video for today, so yeah, goodbye, bye-bye.